Oh, sorry. Alright. This is Jones and Mads. It's a tentative name of Unfiltered, Unedited Love for Jesus Christ. But we'll see. We're just rolling with it. This is going to be kind of an experiment video series that me and Maddie wanted to do together, kind of documenting the engagement process as young couples and also just following along with us on our spiritual growth together and our growth in our relationship. And we both just thought this would be a really cool way to keep us accountable as we grow together and focus on the years and days after our marriage, not so much the wedding day itself, because that's why we're getting married, to live together for the rest of our lives, and that's what we should be preparing for, not so much just the wedding day, because a lot of people can get wrapped up in that. So,
and it's a way for us to communicate with each other.
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of times I know I have a problem with, like, in wildlife and young life, they often talk about, like, walking the walk and, like, what is it?
Talking the talk.
And talking the talk, that's right. And I often can talk a lot about, like, some amazing things I want to do and how I can carry out my spirituality and my faith. But especially in times like these, it's hard to do that, and it's something that I need to work on. So it is an awesome way, I think, that we can still pursue growth and be together and communicate openly, and just hold us accountable. And we're kind of just freeballing this. We don't know how this is going to work. We don't know what we want this to look like yet, but it'll just be a cool experience, I think, if nothing else. And if we can help other young couples along the way, maybe in the future, or if we find any advice we have or just any tips, we'll just pass those on. So for today, this will probably be just a short little introduction. We'll pass it back and forth on how we grew up and kind of what our faith looked like when we were younger and how it's transformed to today. So Maddie, would you like to start?
Sure, I would love to start. With what? How I grew up first, or?
Yeah, how you grew up and just how you were raised in the church, kind of.
Okay. So I grew up in a Christian household from the beginning. We went to church every Sunday, and I was involved in a lot of youth groups. And my parents are really strong Christians, and so are my grandparents, and pretty much my whole family. So I kind of was submerged in it from a young age, but I have to stop saying
That's okay. Very informal.
But I came to realize that a lot of, like, going to church and going to youth group wasn't really my own choice. I just did it because that's what all I knew was going to church on Sundays and going to youth group. And so I'd say around middle school, my mom introduced me to Wildlife, which is like Young Life for middle schoolers. And that was one of the most amazing experiences I had in middle school. It was something that I actually chose to go do, and I kind of got to grab a hold of my own faith and kind of start taking leadership over my relationship with God. And through that group, I got to have kind of a small group where I felt safe to share things about me that I didn't really share with other people. And I met some really cool people where I didn't feel judged in that group. And I continued that through high school and stayed with that same small group. And it was just a really good way for me to take a hold of my faith. And it really caused me to grow in my faith and want to pursue a relationship with God. Tell me how I grew up. Like,
sure, just wherever you want.
In my family. I have a lot of siblings, so growing up, they're all younger than me. I kind of took the role of an older sister very seriously, and that definitely impacted a lot of the choices that I made in high school, or a lot of the choices that I chose not to make. And they really held me accountable, just because I didn't want to let them down, because I had gone through a situation where I felt let down by a loved one, and I never want them to feel like that. And yeah, I have 2 loving parents that love me, and I have a great family, a very involved grandparents, and yeah.
And she's studying to be a nurse.
Yes,
right?
I am studying to be a nurse for kids. I love kids.
Love kids.
So, yeah.
And she'll be amazing at that. She's already so great with kids. It's one of the main reasons I love her. My turn. Okay. So I grew up kind of in the same situation as Maddie. My parents were pretty strong Christians, and my mom especially really pushed Christianity onto me and my 2 older brothers since we were young, and I kind of accepted that. I went to church every week with them, and went to Sunday school and all those extra activities that surround church. But I kind of just went because that's what I thought was normal. I thought that's how people grow up. That's what you should be doing. Kind of like going to school. I looked at the same way as going to school, and I didn't really love it. Church was okay, but I didn't really pay attention that much. I didn't really get anything out of it. I wouldn't say I had a strong relationship with God until probably my senior year of high school. And I also did wildlife and young life like Maddie, and that was more of a social thing for me. I loved just getting hang out with my friends, and it was super popular on Mercer Island where we grew up. And that was just a sweet thing for me to get to be with people I enjoyed being around. But again, I didn't get much out of it in regards to my faith. So it wasn't until Malibu, which was a young life camp in British Columbia, where I really felt a strong connection with God and was able to start seeing what Christianity was all about and what a love for God looked like. And that came in many different forms, but one of it was just in nature. Nature is a huge thing for me, and how I see God's beauty and His majesty and grace and all of His attributes. I see it all in nature. So that's a big way for me to connect with Him. And through Malibu, I met some great people that helped me along my journey, and a great leader, Preston Langholtz. Shout out to Presto if you're watching. Yeah, it was just a great community, and Young Life and that program in general is just a great community and great Kickstarter in your faith journey. And so yeah, I got kind of closer to God and closer to what I thought being a Christian was at that point. And then I met Maddie through her sister, and we became friends and eventually best friends. And she still has a stronger faith than me, I think, and in a good way. I'm still working on it, but she inspires me a lot and helps me grow, which is super important in a relationship. I think we both can help each other grow a lot. And so she kind of helped me elevate my relationship and find out what it means to love and what it means to love others and care for others. And she was super, super important in getting to where I am now. And she introduced me to Point Loma, which is the school we go to now, which is a private Christian college, and that has just been instrumental in my faith and my relationship with God. So, yeah. I'm also, I have 2 older brothers, both of whom are kind of off on the East Coast area, kind of doing their own thing. I'm going into the Army after college, so that's going to be a big future talking point for us and how we're going to address that in the future and that's definitely going to be an area where we need to pay a lot of attention to, because I mean that's difficult enough already, and marriages are tough enough when you both are living in the same house. So it's going to be even harder if I'm leaving for a couple months or whatever. But we'll figure that out as we go. And do you have anything else you want to add?
What about you?
No, not about me.
Oh.
Just anything. Why do you want to do this?
I think the main reason is personally, sometimes I have a hard time communicating what I'm feeling or how I'm feeling about something, and sometimes I can just lay out all of my emotions and feelings and kind of throw it up onto Jonah. And so I think this will be a good way for us to communicate about things, and even like things that I guess we didn't really even think that we needed to talk to each other about. And I'm also really excited to kind of go through this journey of being engaged and getting married and life after marriage, and how just to watch us grow, I think, through will be a really cool thing, even if this never gets posted anywhere. I think it'll be so cool to watch them back together.
Yeah, so off of that, we don't know if we're going to post this to YouTube or anything yet. This might just be a thing kind of helping us and guiding us towards a better relationship with God and Jesus. But, I mean, if you're seeing this, it's obviously posted. So we decided to do that then. But I don't know. Oh, you go ahead.
I was going to say, we did say that if this caused any stress or drama or anything between us, or I don't know who else it would affect, but then we're going to stop doing it, just because we want it to be more beneficial than
destructive. Sure.
Destructive.
Yeah. So we just don't want to create a problem out of this. I don't think we will, but it can be stressful dealing with new things like that, and so we'll just take it as it comes and kind of figure it out as we go, like I've been saying. And every week we might change it up. I think we'll come in with some questions to ask each other and kind of walk through those, and maybe open with some Bible verses and kind of unpack that. So we'll kind of just figure it out as we go. And this is probably one of the shorter episodes, or whatever you want to call this, that we'll be doing. And we were thinking that every episode or video we could end it with a worship song. And to both of us, worship is like one of the best ways of connecting with God. It's so easy, and it's so like soul filling, and you can do it anywhere, in your car or whatever. So if you want, you can take this time as the music plays to meditate and pray, and kind of just think about how God's working in your life and working in others' lives, and how you're seeing Him right now, and hopefully it works out. So we'll see. Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching.
This is my worship. This is my offering. In every moment, I withhold nothing. I'm learning to trust you, even when I can't see it. And even in suffering, I have to believe it. If you say it's wrong, then I'll say no. If you say release, I'm letting go. If you're in it with me, I'll begin. And when you say to jump, I'm tired. diving in. If you say be still, then I will wait. If you say to trust, I will obey. I don't wanna follow my own ways. I'm done chasing feelings. Spirit, lead me. Oh, Spirit, lead me. It felt like a burden, but once I could grasp it, you took me further, further than I was asking. And simply to see you, it's worth it all. My life is an altar. Let your fire fall. If you say it's wrong, then I'll say no. If you say release, I'm letting go. If you're in it with me, I'll begin. And when you say to jump, I'm diving in. If you say be still, then I will wait. If you say to trust, I will obey. Teach me how to follow in your way. I'm done chasing feelings. Spirit, lead me. Oh, yeah. Holy Spirit. Yeah, so sing it out. Yeah. Oh, Spirit, lead me. When all hope is gone, when all hope is gone, and your word is all I've got, I have to believe you still bring water from the rock to satisfy my thirst, to love me at my worst. And even when I don't remember, you remind me of my word. I don't trust my ways. I'm trading in my thoughts. I lay down everything, 'cause you're all that I want. I've landed on my knees. This is the cup you have for me. And even when it don't make sense, I'm gonna let your spirit lead. 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 Come on, let's sing it out. Here we go. Spirit, lead me. Spirit, lead me. Spirit, lead me. Spirit, lead me. If you say it's wrong, then I'll say no. If you say release, I'm letting go. If you're in it with me, I'll begin. And when you say to jump, I'm diving in. If you say be still, then I will wait. If you say to trust, I will